Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today I just came in from being hired as a DP for a documentary. Now I've been working on this project for a couple months now, and today was about a half day worth of shooting. And this particular feature that I want to talk about in this video absolutely transformed my video. It made my job as a solo video shooter so much easier. Let's talk about it. Now, as a solo video shooter, there's so many things that you can forget when it comes to packing your bag that will ultimately can make or break your video shoot. A lot of times when I'm packing, I'm looking for tools that will get the job done just enough, but not too much. I've learned that leaner is meaner. Make sure you pack your essentials and nothing more, nothing less. Your back will thank you and me later. I want to show you what I brought with me today before I get to that feature that absolutely transformed the way I shoot video content solo. Now let me show you all the gear that I used just today for shooting an event as a videographer solo. That's right, I was a solo shooter, and as you know, I'm going to share my favorite feature, what made my job 10 times easier. But before I do that, let's take a look at the gear I brought. So I have the Lumix S5 Mark II right here, which is kind of my go-to for video shooting. I have the 99 watt Neewer battery right there. I have the Comica VM30. It's a Bluetooth shotgun mic that's really good directionally. For the price, you simply can't beat it, and it can be powered through the camera right there, as you can see. I have the Hollyland Mars M1 monitor, which is kind of been my go-to, quite honestly, for some time. I really enjoy it. Really good energy draw. I have it powered with a dummy battery straight to the 8-volt plug of this. So that's kind of my go-to handheld rig. It's really awesome. Today I chose to use the Lumix 24-105 lens on this, f4 by the way. I had a lot of great natural light coming through the church, and I like this lens because first, obviously, you get multiple focal lengths in one, but also it covers a wide range from 24 all the way up to 105, so that's pretty cool. I do have a 7200 right there. Then I also, if I did need, I have the 20 to 60 millimeter f4 to 5.6 right here. I didn't need either of these, so these two could have just totally stayed at home, but you know, I always like to see why I cover my assets. I have the second battery right here, same thing, 99 watt Neewer V-mount battery, and this is all I needed. I only used about half of this battery today, and I shot for 3 hours. Of course, you need to monitor the audio, so there's my headphones. Cleaning, more SD cards. So, of course, a dead cat right here, because I did shoot a little bit outside, but most of it was inside. So always bring a dead cat with you, you just never know. And I also brought a second piece of audio just in case something went down, or if they wanted to do a quick man on the street kind of an interview with anybody, I could just mic them up and I'm good to go. So I always recommend bringing lav mics regardless. Even though I have the shotgun mic, works perfectly, nothing's wrong with it, nothing ever did happen to this mic right here, but, you know, I just like thinking, you know, redundancy. So that is what I brought with me today. If you have any questions about the gear itself, definitely let me know, post your comments down below. Okay, so now let's talk about that one specific feature that I absolutely can not see myself not using in the future as a solo video content creator. Now, when you're on the field, there are so many features within a camera that absolutely, to me right now in 2025, is absolutely essential. Good in-body stabilization is definitely one. Having phase detect or hybrid phase detect autofocus is another. One thing is good longing record time, right? Panasonic has been known to have unlimited record time, and there are times where I have to record for a pretty extensive time.
This case, I was recording more like 5 minutes at a time, maybe up to 10 minutes, but overall, I didn't have any issues with that. So now, here's the one thing that absolutely blew me away. And this was the first time I used it. Now, it's been added as a firmware to the Lumix S5 Mark II for, I believe, about a year now, but this is the first time me actually using it. And I know Nikon cameras have it as well due to pretty recent updates to their firmware as well. I believe the Z6 III, Z8, Z9 have it. And it is the hybrid zoom. And I know this may sound silly, but if you're a solo shooter, this feature is absolutely game changing. And I kid you not, it's so game changing that I had to come home and make this video for you.
Okay, so I want to show you how to change your hybrid video setting. So first go into the main menu. And then immediately right on the top of your Lumix camera settings is the video settings. That's with the little camera right there. Okay. Once you're in there, you press right, you go scroll down until you get to the other video settings, which is right here. Press right again, and now inside of the other video settings 1 area, you just go down. It's right there, right at the tippity top, right below the silent mode shooting, etc. So once you get there, you have the option of turning this feature on or off. I obviously have it on because I've been using it all day, and you could change the settings of when it activates inside of here. It's just that simple. Very easy inside the main menu.
Now, what it did was, as you saw in the previous clip, I used a 24 to 105 f4 lens. That lens is pretty much my go-to lens, whether it be the 24 to 120 f4 for Nikon, or in this case, the 24 to 105. When it comes to shooting solo, because I get a lot of range with it. It's not too long. I'm not going to hit a whole lot of things. It keeps me mobile, but it covers a lot of ground. Now, when I noticed, well, actually, let me rewind. The day before every shoot, I always lock in my settings, right? So whether it be picture profile, color profile, frame rate, what resolution I'm shooting in, and all that jazz. When I do all those particular things, then I noticed there was that hyper zoom, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. I might actually need that today, because today I was shooting absolutely solo, and I was running all around the church, shooting for that documentary I mentioned, and I need to be nimble, I need to be ready to go, I need to be able to shoot at some distance, which I really had to, because I didn't have the pleasure of being just front row the entire time. Sometimes I was about 3/4 of the way back toward the end of the church, just to get some unique perspective. Or if I need to shoot some guests attending, I need to be able to zoom, zoom on in and grab the 1 or 2 close-ups. So with that said, I turned on hyper zoom. I've never used this feature before. Of course, we have all heard of it. A matter of fact, some of you may be accustomed to it in camcorders, or even, well, not hyper zoom, but definitely a zoom inside of your cell phone. Now, what hyper zoom is, it's a feature that combines digital and optical zoom. So you still get an optical zoom, but if you keep twisting, it'll go even further out and punching into your sensor, thus becoming a digital zoom. Okay. Now, some of you may absolutely hate that and want to remain optical. I absolutely understand why. I have no issues. This isn't a pro or con situation. I'm just letting you know how helpful it was for me as a solo shooter. Now, when I turned that hyper zoom on, it turned that 24 to 105 to a 24 to 163 millimeter lens. That was the game changer for me. That means that 70 to 200 I carried in the bag was, well, I just never needed to look at it, quite honestly. And yes, when I extended beyond 105 millimeter, even with stabilization, I had a boost IS, I believe, on feature on in the S5 Mark II. Yeah, you're gonna get a lot more. You're gonna see a lot more handshake, because instinctively, the longer the focal length, you'll see the vibration, you'll see the handshake in the lens very easily. But I was using this right here. I was using the camera saddle sack, if you can see it right here. This camera saddle sack is awesome for, especially if you're a solo shooter, you need to get this thing, okay? Of course, I'm gonna leave a link for this down below, but this thing is awesome, like freaking awesome, only 150 bucks, but it allowed two things, okay? When I'm shooting at that extended focal length after 105 millimeters on that lens, it puts all the weight of the entire rig more toward around my waist, so I'm able to actually let my hands go if I wanted to for a hot second, and also created another point of stability besides my two hands holding the top rail and maybe the lens itself. I also had that camera saddle keeping it super rock steady, and that made my ability to be able to shoot up to that 163 millimeters that much easier. But just think about it. If you could put on a 24-70, that might end up being like 120, 105 millimeters, somewhere around there. I mean, if you're a solo video shooter, that feature has to be in your quiver for you to be able to capture some great content all by yourself. Because there's too many times I've noticed that I need to reach in just that much further. Imagine the amount of time I would be losing in moments I may not be able to catch if I'm changing my stupid lenses. So with that said, I've only needed to bring that one lens, the 24-105, which was again 24-163 millimeter at f4, and one neutral density filter. Boom. That's a game changer. You know how fast that allows me to be as a videographer? And nowadays, like I've noticed more than ever, what counts is you capturing the moment. So why waste time changing lenses? This is one way for you to be able to stay in the game, make sure you're powered up. That's why I was using those V-mount batteries, and keep rocking and rolling. And all I had to do was just basically worry about composition through the monitor I was using. So with that said, I just want to share with you my experience as a solo shooter and what feature absolutely made my day that much easier. So if you have any questions or comments, concerns about the Lumix hybrid zoom, let me know. Otherwise, have you ever used a hybrid zoom, whether it be on a Nikon or Panasonic or maybe even a camcorder? Let me know what you think about that. Any tips about solo video shooting? Sure, share it with the community down below. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like, that share, that subscribe, and all that good stuff. I'm Robin Silver, and until next time, keep shooting and stay creative.